Hello again. So I'm going to make a video today. If I can remember what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about this book that I've got by A.C Grayling. It's called Liberty in the Age of Terror. Liberty in the Age of Terror. So A.C Grayling writes sort of philosophical sort of books about various topics that we face in everyday society, sort of about culture and cultural values and that sort of thing, and things that are going on in the world. And he writes on quite a few interesting topics. This one happens to be about liberty in the age of terror. So terror meaning, obviously, in the last 10 to 12 years, we have become very familiar with this word terror, as it's been used quite a bit in Western media to refer to terrorist acts against the Western world, which we have experienced on a few occasions. So it's become quite a common phenomenon in the last 10 years, and he's talking about liberty that the West prides itself on, pretty much. The Western world, or the so-called democracies, pride themselves on having this so-called a very liberal society, and people have been able to express themselves freely and openly. Free speech, for example, in America, free speech is such a, is such an important part of the Constitution and everyday life. People exercise their rights in free speech, supposedly, and things of that nature. And he talks about how authorities are now using this terrorist sort of threats and terrorist, would you say, terrorist attacks and things like that. They're using that as an excuse to, dispense with many of our liberties that we have. For example, privacy is sort of going out the window, and free speech I'm not too sure about, but I'm sure it is affected. He particularly focuses on the fact that since we are always at threat by terrorists, we're always a target, potentially, that the government wants to protect us. So the government claims that everything that they do is for our protection. For example, they say, well, if you've got nothing to worry about, if you haven't committed a crime, or you're not doing anything wrong, then you don't have anything to worry about. A.C. Grayling says that this is ridiculous, this sort of complacency which people sort of say, well, if I'm not doing anything wrong, so it doesn't matter if people are spying on me, sort of attitude is, and he says it's quite ridiculous that people think that way, and that civil liberties should never be sacrificed in the name of security, is what he's saying. So, for example, because someone may be planning a terrorist attack, we have to monitor and record all phone calls. We have to read and monitor all emails which are sent out, and that sort of thing. We have to basically spy on everybody. And he refers to this as treating every citizen in society as a suspect, which is obviously ridiculous. So we're getting rid of our civil liberties, and the authorities are using it as an excuse. They claim that it's for our protection and in our interest, when in fact it's in their interest, because it makes it easier for them to target people, to target individuals, or they can just spy on anyone whenever they like and treat them as a potential suspect for a crime, even though they may not be guilty at all. So this is the sort of point, and one of the problems is this complacency, this attitude that people aren't too concerned about it. They think, well, they want to spy on us and put CCTV cameras everywhere, then that's fine, I'm not doing anything wrong anyway. Sort of goes against privacy and that sort of thing. And another important thing is that obviously in today's world, technology has sped this process up. What I mean by that is authorities claiming that they're spying on us for our for our benefit is actually it's much easier for them to do now in today's world because of our technology and rapid advancements in technology. For example, we all have the internet, we're all connected to the internet. A lot of things are done, a lot of interactions are done over the internet. People chat over the internet, that sort of thing, emails, videos, whatever. Could be anything. Skype call. So we have this, and we have mobile phones, we have smartphones now, which are, these excellent devices, which are basically a tracking device that can make calls. And this makes it extremely easy for them to implement their policies and that sort of thing, and do what they want to do without us even being aware of it. So they can spy on us, listen to our phone calls, monitor our emails, and so on. So technology is aiding them in their their so-called investigations of potential suspects. So I think this is quite interesting. And the question I have is, are we becoming a police state? Is this happening slowly? Are we slowly losing our democracy? I think so. I don't think it's happening all at once. It wouldn't work in the authorities' favour if it did. I think that we lose our democracy very slowly because it then becomes easy to accept, slowly introducing new laws and slowly destroying our liberties. But it's a gradual process, it's sequential. So the government's not going to come out straight away and say, well, no more free speech, we're going to monitor all your calls, blah blah blah, everyone will be treated as a suspect. I mean, no one's going to come out and say that. However, little laws will be introduced, and others will be taken out, and this happens very gradually and slowly. And yeah, so, and also there's the brainwashing behind it, where people, as I said, it's in the name of security and protecting your country. It's all well and good to protect your country from potential terrorist attack, but I think that in this case it's used as an excuse, and it's given them a very good opportunity to spy on us, and without us knowing about it. And in fact, no, we already do know about it, and people don't seem to protest too much because they feel that, well, they're doing it for our protection, so it can't be too bad. However, I think that A.C. Grayling is definitely onto something here, and just wanted to bring that up. Also, microchipping as well, and how possibly in the future they will be microchipping us for their convenience, and that way they can have access to all our records, medical records, employment, whatever else, I don't know, very quickly, and they can locate us at any time that they wish. So my question is, are we losing our democracy, and are we becoming a police state? And also, that may sound a bit dramatic, but are we losing our civil liberties in the name of security? What do you think? Is that right? Should we be monitored constantly? Should everybody be treated as a suspect? Should the authorities record all phone calls and monitor all emails? Is that good or bad? Thank you for watching.